No, I didn't see it. I went to the theater and saw 10 minutes of it.
It sounds like a kid thing.
No, somebody pulled the fire. I don't know. Maybe it was an actual fire.
Oh,
anyway,
dang.
So, yeah. So, like...
Oh.
I hope you got your money back.
I did, yeah. But still, it was like... I went to go see it, and it was sold out, so I had to go to a different theater and, like, kill 2 hours. And then it was, like, 10 p.m. We start watching it.
It was sold out this weekend?
Yeah, yeah. So that's why I didn't buy it.
Weird.
So I ended up all the way from Kendall watching it and 10 minutes into it.
Are we live right now? Like we're live?
Oh, I don't know. I thought I hit the intro.
Oh.
Yeah, we're 100% live, and so we need to go back to the intro. Hey! We're going to...
Anyway, it says to the guy, it says, I don't even like fish.
25 episodes before episode 500. Chris, we're just pretending nothing happened there, okay?
I says to the guy, I don't even like fish.
All right.
That was fishy.
I'm sorry. You should get, like, Wife Day instead of Mother's Day, dealing with this all the time. But you're just as bad.
Look, man, I played a Feast for Odin yesterday for Wendy.
He did.
Oh, that was your Mother's Day gift?
That was my Mother's Day gift.
Yeah.
Huh.
It was
That and I
great.
bought myself a ladle.
My wife did not ask to play games. All right, well, what have you. Hey, folks, welcome to the Dice Tower Board Game Breakfast. This is a good week because it's a different week. And this week we are going to be, today and tomorrow, no, even tomorrow's not normal. So,
I was like, I would argue that every week is a different week.
no, we
based on
had a
dates?
kind of normal, oh my word.
See what I have to deal with, Tom?
Yes!
I should celebrate Wife's Day and Husband's Day.
You guys deserve each other. So anyhow, so this week, today will be somewhat normal, except there will be no Q&A today because we're moving Q&A to Wednesday. But right after we're done here, Z is going to be doing What's Happening. And then at 3 o'clock, me and Eric will be doing At the Table. Tomorrow morning, we're playing Apex Legends live. And then tomorrow afternoon, we're doing crowd surfing because crowd surfing... we're not doing anything Wednesday other than a Q&A because we're taking Wednesday off to prepare for the Thursday-Friday Super Marathon of 36 hours. So come join us for that. It's going to be a great time. The gang will be here. We're being joined by Jenny, by Rod, by Alex, and by Professor Meg coming in. So a lot of different people playing games, and virtually for 6 of those hours, you got to deal with Michael Delisio.
Virtual mic. That's exciting.
Actually, we're all virtual, so I guess that makes sense. But anyhow, that's
He's
coming up
more
this week.
virtual.
And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be videos like normal. And then next week, back to, you know what, I don't even know what's happening next week. So we'll talk about that later.
Back to another new week. That's different
So,
from this week.
also, so we're soft launching today our Discord, the Dice Tower Discord. The link is in the description of this video. And you are the only people to know about it so far. We haven't posted this anywhere else. So that's why I'm saying soft launch. We'll be posting it in lots of videos and pushing it, but you can be the first people. If you do it right now, you'll be the first person in. Well, like the fifth.
What do they get if they're the fifth person in, Tom?
Nothing. So
They get to talk with 4 other people.
You get
That's
that-
what
you
they
if
get
they
claim
join
fame.
Discord. So anywho, so that's what's going on in the Dice Tower world. I just heard someone join Discord.
Oh, you're going to get notifications the entire
That's pretty
episode.
fast. That's pretty fast. Let's see who it is.
Oh.
Let's see who's the first person. New audio device detected. Oh no, I do not want to use
10-step
audio.
process.
How do you find out people who joined?
Probably welcome? Or no, I don't know.
Oh wow, like a lot of people joined early.
Are we in Discord?
I'm in the Discord.
Well, apparently, if
Oh,
you
that's a Dice
join
Tower
today...
Cruise. I'm on the wrong one.
That explains it.
Oh, are there 5 people yet?
No one joined yet. Do we have to prove people joining? I can't remember.
Technology, baby.
Hey.
I'm getting. I just got a text. Hopefully that wasn't important.
We're all old here.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
I misread that chat that says, "What is Discord? I'm so old." I thought it said, "What, Discord? So old."
Well, that's probably two different phrases used by two different people. So.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's what's going on here today, Sarah. Like I said, we're prepping a lot this week, and we have a lot of things to get going. So we need to get going in this show. So let's get started.
Hi, it's Tarrant.
And Stella from Meeple University and the Dice Tower. Today we have Shelfie Stacker. Now this game is designed by Shem Phillips but not published by Garfield Games. This game is published by Arcus Games, so he just designed it, someone else developed it, and the game is about stacking board games.
Yes, at a mechanical level, it's a drafting and sequence building game. So in each round there will be various dice rolled. They are just D6s, but if you look carefully at them, they are the pips are made to represent board games that are being stacked.
Yes.
And as you build them, you'll be building them up into your columns from bottom to top, trying to make ascending sequences and then meet a series of objectives which are common, which are out on the table.
And basically on your turn you got an 8 cards, has 7 rounds. You play simultaneously a card face down, and then this card has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on, and higher other numbers for the more complexity. And number 1 goes first, and so on. And then each card also has the power that you can use from then onwards once.
Yes, and that's how you manage flexibility on these dice, which can otherwise be quite restrictive given you have to go from low numbers to high.
What you don't want to do is to put your dice in the shelf of shame.
Yes, you've got this little shelf over to the side where
9
all the
dice.
games that don't fit properly can go, and you will end up losing points for those games if you can't use a power and get them played.
Yes, that is.
Shelved.
That is. Well, I think that this game is really cute, and look at this. The back of it is like shipping label, and then there's the dice tray is really cute. So, is it?
Yes.
So, Shelfie Stacker, check it out. And thanks for watching. Bye.
Go.
All right, even though it said 30 years ago, we're going back 20 years ago.
What up, nerds? That's me talking to the Discord that you could be a part of.
20 years ago. So today we're talking about a game that's ranked 1009, which is pretty high. Pretty high.
It would be
on Board
cooler if
Game
it
Geek.
was exactly 1,000, but I'll take it.
All right, you know what? For that, I want to know exactly what 1000 is now. So the game that is 1000 is...
Oh, different page. Foiled again.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
I don't think I'm for that much. Mr. Jack Pockets 1001. That game's a piece of trash. All right.
But it's better than Hey, That's My Fish, apparently.
Apparently.
Legendary Encounters Predator. The Predator Legendary is 1000. Anyhow, 1009 is Hey, That's My Fish. So on screen you can see a printing that was just announced of Hey, That's My Fish from Next Move, who I think are cheating somehow because their rule has been all their games have 4 letters only.
Bees.
Fish has 4 letters.
Yeah, the game ain't called Hey, That's My Fish. But if you look at the cover, that may be what they're trying to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
That
they had
is.
Azul and they had a bunch of Azul. Of course, they had subtitles for those too. So this is Fish. Hey, that's my.
Wait,
I don't
didn't they
know.
also publish Yak?
Maybe they did drop the 4-letter thing.
Maybe, yeah. But
They
also
went
I'm
3
fine
letters.
with Fish, 2nd edition.
They can spell yak with a C.
Next Move has fallen a bit from their Azul days. But Hey, That My Fish is a popular game that honestly I think has been reprinted by more different publishers than almost any other game in the past 20 years.
And it wasn't
since it's
designed
come
by
out.
Knizia.
That's true. It was. I know Fantasy Flight had a version. I'm looking at the list of publishers here. There's a lot of there's alternate names. Let's see. Fantasy Flight did one. DeVere has one. Mayfair did a version of it. Next Move, that's the newest one. Phalanx did one. Yeah, there's a lot of different versions of it. But
It does make me wonder how chess would do if chess had like really cutesy art and a cutesy theme. I know chess does well anyways, but
I mean, if chess was designed today,
yeah, if it was designed today, if it was
No,
really
chess
cute.
does well.
if chess was designed today, I am of the opinion it wouldn't make it.
It wouldn't be
Because-
highly regarded, I don't think.
I don't think, and I mean, it's a who knows type situation, but I think if it came out, people are like, oh, it's another abstract game. Wow, this was really interesting. But,
Why are there some weird fiddly rules?
yeah, like, what's...
Does this feel
They've been
like
like,
the
they should have cut this
grandfather of
castle.
abstract games?
And Pazans? What is this garbage, you know? Anyhow, we're not talking about chess. Hey There, My Fish is a very simple game. You start with a grid of hexes. You move your penguin. You'll take the tile that you were on and collect fish, which is 1, 2, or 3 fish usually, or something like that. And slowly but surely, you are trying to trap your opponents on a small block so they get very few fish and keep yourself from being trapped. That's the whole game. It's fun, light, very mean. Oh, not very mean, but mean, I think.
Yeah, you often find yourself feeling like, oh no, everyone is clearly trying to trap me on this small little bit of iceberg. How do I get off of it? Oh, I can't. 2 of my penguins are just toast at this point.
I guess I feel like most abstract games are mean because you have to be in the head of the other person so much.
Yeah, but this one's so cute and so quick.
It's very
and
cute.
It's
So it
kind
feels
of
less.
It's also more than 2 players, so
Yeah.
yeah. It's kind of I don't want to use the word frivolous, but it's silly fun. I
a lot
really
of people
enjoy it.
like it. I've cooled on it. I get my rating here is a 6.5, and that is because I think I just played it a lot. I liked it, and now if you ask me to play it, I'm like, is there something else? I'd rather play War and Sheep, which I think is a similar but more fun game.
Battle Sheep. Right?
Battle Sheep, sorry. War and Sheep's a different game. Battle Sheep.
Chris, how much does the penguins elevate it in your mind?
A lot. I mean, look at this cover. This new cover is great.
Very
I really
cute.
like that perspective shot and everything. So yeah, the fact that they're penguins. If this was just silk traders and you moved around hexes and you got 1, 2, or 3 silk, I'd be like, yeah, this is cute. I get what it's going for. The fact that it's penguins, 9 out of 10.
I think the penguins are
kidding,
disarming.
it's not. It's-
so that it feels less mean, even though it's mean.
Yeah.
Because they're cute.
It's like probably like a 7 for me.
I have endorphins just by looking at it, that it's not so bad.
This is a good app, I think, right? You can play it on Board Game Arena.
I don't remember if it's on Board Game Arena. I've had the app for years,
Yeah.
and I enjoy just clicking around on it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, there you go. That's the game from 20 years ago.
Hello, this is Oliver, and a few years ago, actually pre-COVID, we went to Gen Con, and we ended up demoing this game there, and I didn't really like it that much because, I was just kind of too young for it because it was a little bit too complicated for me. But now I've recently played it, and my opinions on this game have definitely changed, and I'm going to share those ideas with you. And the game we're going to be talking about is Reef. What I like about Reef is, first off, I think the art is really cool looking. As you saw a few seconds ago, it has this cool, cartoony style art, which I usually kind of like that. I think I can appreciate art in a game. And another thing is I think the components are really cool. And there's not that many components, but I really think it's kind of cool, the big chunky plastic pieces that you're putting together, and how it's almost like putting together Legos. And another thing is, obviously, the turns weren't as easy back then, but I think the turns are really easy and they're really quick, because you're just getting a card, and, then the next turn you're, placing. It's, just that simple, but for some reason I didn't like it back then. But I definitely like it now. Yeah, and I think it's cool how, you're trying to, how if you're trying to get, 3 green in a row, and you have a stack of 3 different colors, and you have 2 green, you can place a green on top and still get that. So yeah, I like this strategy to the game. I'll definitely play it more, as I get older, and maybe I'll even like it more than I like it now. But yeah, that is all I have for you today. This will probably make a huge jump in my top 100, top 10, whatever this year. And that is all I have. Have a great breakfast. Bye.
All right. Today we're going to try something new. I found a new feature on Board Game Geek that lets you go to a random game. So we're just going to do that. And then we're going to review it.
The
If
thing
we're
is,
gonna
Tom,
do this,
first we have to get the launch codes ready. Activate, Chris. Keys.
armed.
Armed.
Thomas, you let us know when. Okay, so we're gonna switch to your view here, and we're gonna hit the button which is going to trigger
I
the
can click this
random.
button, but go ahead and hit your buttons.
All right, on the count of 3, Mark. 1, 2,
2,
3.
3.
We got. What do we
We
get,
have
Tom?
access.
Hey, this isn't that random. We played this one.
Hey, look at that.
What is
Don't
it?
Talk to Strangers. This is from Cryptozoic
Oh.
Entertainment. This is in that series based on that Stephen Rhodes T-shirts that then became a big thing. This is not a good game. If you notice, I gave it a 5. Just move around and look at stuff. I want to pick one we haven't done before. I'm doing it again.
I will say
Wait,
this
wait.
is.
We didn't hit the button. We didn't hit the button
All right, I'm doing it now.
Oh.
Wait.
Reset.
Ice Pirates.
That's more like it, baby. It doesn't even have a picture.
This is web published. I don't want to web publish one either.
Okay.
I'm going to hit a random until we get it.
Okay, gotta turn the key the other
Tom. All right.
way. Boop.
All right, here we go. Pacific War Classics Volume 1.
Ooh. This looks amazing.
Tarawa and
4.6.
Saipan.
Wow.
So this is ranked 22,341, which is not good.
No.
We talked about in the thousands good. Let's see
Is this a
why.
train
Let's take a look
game?
at the comments.
What is this?
The rules are bad and not thought out. Because the only people who are playing this are war gamers. 12 pages of rules. This guy says there's the bonsai charges are the biggest problem with the rules.
Absolutely. Everyone knows not to go with the bonsai chart.
This is always a consensus. With some rules amendments and the publisher added, this is a playable game. Yeah, that's too bad. Another turd from the Turd Factory. That was FGA.
Who's FGA?
That's the company Fresno Gaming Association.
Oh man, what else have they made?
This is. Oh, look at these games. That's their highest rated game.
Ouch.
22,705, 23,307, 23,043. Oh my word.
How did they make enough money to make 6 of them?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's true because they're blowing the budget on the art.
Yeah, let's look at more of those pictures up close, Tom.
All right, here we go. Pacific War Classics Volume 1. And here's the thing, folks. I'm not making fun of this as a war game at all. That's fine. It's just, to me, it's amazing because war gamers are some of the harshest critics of their own games. And they should be, because if you're going to put this much effort into a game.
Yeah.
I don't know what's so bad about this one compared to others, except I guess everyone's saying it's the rules.
Sure. Yeah. When your game is almost playable with errata and and you have to change some of the rules yourself, you done messed up.
No written reviews. There's one video review.
Ooh.
Here's errata. I found an old faded copy of errata. Wait, so when did this game come out? 1992. So this is 31 years old.
I was in elementary school.
Oh, we missed covering this last year, Tom, when we did a 30 years ago segment.
We did, and I'm sorry. All right. Well, that's interesting. Well, there you go.
Another turd from the company that was FGA.
You'll never know. You know what? I'm doing another one.
Wow.
I don't care.
Dad.
Ah.
Here we go. Spot It Preschool.
Ooh.
Have you guys played Spot It?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I thought it was already a preschool game.
No, because here there's like this. I think it's like really young kids. You're looking for the same thing on cards, and there's also spinning picks, a mini game, whatever that might be. That would work well for 2 or 3 year olds, maybe 4 year olds.
They have fewer pictures.
Yeah. So if you never played Spot It, every 2 cards have exactly one thing that's the same on them. I really want to see the grid of the design of this because I think it's fascinating.
Absolutely, yeah.
But Spot It works really well. Every single spot, it's the same thing. You flip over 2 cards, first person to see it gets one of the 2 cards, and you flip over another card. And they've added a few weird rules to it, and this one here, I guess, has a spinner with a mini game in it.
For the chronically British people, this game is also called Dobble, which I don't understand why it's called Dobble.
Why are you getting Dobble?
No, that's what it's called in UK printings of it.
Oh, just spot it.
You're right. Dobble, also known as Spot It. I guess Spot It is 6, but it works well with kids. There's also Dobble 360, Dobble Connect. Oh wait, I need to see this 360
What is Double
one.
360? Yeah.
Does it rotate? Does it spin?
Are you looking at different sides
It's
of it?
spinning around and you have to do it?
Oh, are there 2 going on at the same time?
That's terrible. Who's going to like that?
It came out in 2020.
Wow.
We never got a review copy. I'm disappointed.
Let's see what the ratings are on it.
Another turd from FGA. Weird.
Overwhelmingly average. All right, that's how random stuff works. We went down the rabbit hole. But now we're going to move on back to normality.
This is a segment where we take a look at a board game based on an IP, and I tell you the IP and the mechanisms to match. Today we're looking at Uno Ultimate. Now this is a game I normally wouldn't take a look at in this segment because it's just an Uno variant, right? Well, let's take a look at the game and I'll come back and tell you what I think. Each player would choose a Marvel character with their own unique power. You will draw 7 cards from the deck and you're ready to play. Everything's going to play just like normal Uno, except for if you play one of these cards down with a danger signal on it, you will have to draw from your danger deck, which might be a bad guy that will attack you, or it could be an event that would occur. Everything plays the same, except for you have a few things. You can burn cards from this deck, and this deck will work like a health bar for you. If it ever runs out, you're eliminated from the game, and you're still trying to shed all the cards from your hand. First person to either shed all their cards or have everybody else eliminated is the winner of the game. I could see the board meeting, whereas like we need to take Uno and we need to mix in Marvel, and somebody took the game a little bit too seriously. They were like, okay, let's dive in and do this. They probably took this back to the CEO of the company or whoever, and they were like, wow, you actually put a game together. I just meant put pictures of Iron Man on the cards. So you actually do get your own deck of cards here, and you're utilizing those and trying to shed your own cards while also trying to defeat the others. Some bad guys are showing up. But of course, this doesn't feel like a Marvel universe. It's an Uno game. But I was really taken aback and impressed by what they were attempting to do here. They were attempting to take that Marvel universe and add it into the Uno. And there's other packs coming out where you can get more characters to come in and play. And I found this to be very fun. Now, in my family, we still play Uno, we still play Monopoly, we still play these games I know modern gamers hate. But with my kids and family, we play whatever they want to play and still have a good time. And Uno Ultimate is our preferred version of playing Uno. We like Marvel, I like the different packs, I like going out and getting the other ones and adding them in. And we've had a blast with this one. So this is Uno Ultimate is one. If you like Marvel and you like Uno, this is the version that we play and I'd recommend to you.
Happy breakfast, everyone. Today I'm going to talk to you about Dice Manor. This is the new dice rolling bidding game from Arcane Wonders. So, on your turn you are rolling all of your dice. You've maybe got like 9 dice, and then you're choosing one number that you've rolled, and you're using all of that dice. So say you've rolled all of your dice, you've got 3 4s, you choose the number 4, you're placing all of those down. There's some ways to mitigate your luck with some tokens to add one on or subtract one from a dice or re-roll any you like. So there's some good mitigation there. But it's the choice once you've picked your number of what to do that's the really good bit. You've got 3 locations you can use your dice. You can split them up however you like. So I've got my 3 4s. Maybe I put 1 4 to bid on the number 4 tile. I could put another one on advertisement, and maybe I can use the other one to give a tour of one of the rooms in my manor. You're not always going to want to split up that much though, because people are going to overbid you for the different tiles. You can unlock more dice, so maybe when everyone else has finished putting dice, you're still rolling. And that can be a really cool choice, gained off that advertisement track, as well as some points along the way. Why is that so good? Well, no one's bid on the number 1 tile. If I can just get a number 1, I could get it for a single dice. When you're normally overbidding people to 3, maybe 4 dice for another tile, oof, a cheeky extra room for 1 dice, that's pretty cool. I really enjoy that central mechanic of the rolling on your turn, using all one number of dice, but with the choices of the different areas, and I think a lot of people are going to as well, even if the dice normally hate me. Anyway, that is Dice Manor. Let me know if you've played it, what did you think of it, and until next time, enjoy the rest of your breakfast.
Alrighty, it's time to take a look at another shelf. So here we take a look at the new shelf.
Well done.
Hey folks, today's shelf is showing games in my abstract section. Noctiluca is, well, it's basically an abstract game about dice. For the crown here, this is a deck building game mixed with chess. Very weird, very rare. Check it out. Then we have Ubongo, which is like a 3D version of Blocus. No, it's not. It's 2D. There is a Ubongo 3D, though. Dimension is 3D. That's putting these little balls in a certain configuration. They're making a pocket version of that. Pyramid Arcade, which is just a box of pyramids with multiple games from Looney Labs. Number 9, which is a game everyone raved about, but no one plays anymore. Then we have this whole series of abstract games from Quarto. Quarto, Quixo, Pylos, and Kawale. And that's Gigamic, sorry. Anyway, they're all very nice little wooden ones, and I don't have all of them from this series. In fact, we just got a new one, which was... I don't remember what the new one was, but we added it in, and then I subtracted one. Oh, Kawale's the newest one, this one here. Then we have Kohaku, which is actually a really, really good fish placement tile game. Babylonia, this is a weird place for this one to be, except that it is really abstract. It's from Reiner Knizia, and it's very well done. And then, here we have games that are going to be checked out a lot. Calico, Cascadia, and Verdant. Cascadia, of course, being the most popular of these three, but all of them from flat out games. They do a great job. And then Rome. We got Ryan Lockett's game stuck there in the end. But that one is also straight up an abstract strategy game. That's what's on this shelf.
You don't have Hey, That's My Fish on here. On your abstract shelf.
Where is Hey, That's My Fish? It's in the library. You know what? I think it's a small box, so it's simple small box games.
That must be it, yeah.
It really bugs me when there's a small box in the middle of a bunch of big ones.
Which is funny because like Verdant and them are not very big boxes either. But I guess they're bigger.
They're bigger, they fit together in that grouping.
They do. They fit nicely together.
I was just saying beforehand, I feel like Verdant is like the redheaded stepchild of this group here. It's no one is talking about that compared to Cascadia.
Well, I mean, Cascadia is... It's like a tale of success, right? People aren't talking about Calico that much.
But they talked about it a lot until Cascadia came out.
Yeah, it had continual coverage, yeah. Verdant was very fine. Cascadia is good. I'll tell you what, right before West, I flew out the weekend before to go visit my family, and my stepdad and my brother have been, and my sister-in-law have been playing a lot of Cascadia. Like, we when we called home yesterday for Mother's Day, I was like, hey, Mom, how's it going? And my stepdad took the phone. He's like, oh, I got to tell you, Chris, we had a real nail-biter of a game of Cascadia last night. Alice, she's a shark. And he proceeded to tell us about Cascadia for about 5 minutes.
Yes.
Like, so anyway, happy Mother's Day.
You shark.
We should introduce them to Calico.
All right, so Mike's choice is Babylonia, where he is blinded by his love of Reiner Knizia. And Camilla picked, where is Camilla? Oh, she can't pick. You have to pick one, Camilla. We can't do two. Two is not good.
Why not?
That's the rules. One.
You change rules a lot. It's good.
I do change rules a lot. I don't know. I'm really struggling here. I want to say For the Crown because no one else has played the game in the studio except maybe Z. Yeah, I really like For the Crown. It's so dumb. It's deck building mixed with chess. That is a terrible combo that works.
Deck building chess.
Yes.
Like you don't start with all your pieces. You have
start
to
with like one or two pieces.
like your king and a queen,
and so
you go from there.
When you play cards, you get to move. You get to add more pieces and things like that. But you have to like keep a balance between buying new pieces. Hey, you can buy multiple queens or whatever, and moving your actual pieces on the board because you're doing one or the other.
Oh my
you're
goodness.
moving or buying.
Huh. I'm sure I could have all queens and still lose to like a decent chess player.
Oh,
A
probably.
pawn and a knight. Like checkmate. Like, oh.
Probably. So I have played some version of Ubongo, but not this version. I think I played the kids version, and then I think we had a travel version.
I think you've played the basic Ubongo once back at Tim's Cafe at Mapleville.
Really?
Yeah, one of the
don't
employees there
know.
was excited to teach it to us.
I don't have a memory of that.
I played Ubongo 3D. It's strange. I like the Ubongo line. I just do.
Do you? I like
do.
it. The problem with you, Bongo, is if you're better than me or I'm better than you, it's not as fun for the person who's not as fast.
That's the problem
Get
with
good.
every abstract game, Tom. I always feel stupid during them because someone's always better than me.
Ubongo is pure speed, though, right? It's speed and figuring things out. Ubongo also has one of the worst, not make any sense in the world scoring systems of a game ever.
And
For no reason. It's like they were like, oh, here's a pretty decent game. Blah, here's a scoring system. It's terrible.
It is. It's
I'm still
basically-
annoyed about that scoring system.
Yeah, like you won first. It's the equivalent of like reach into a bag. Did you get 2 or 5 points?
So weird.
It's weird, and they've never done anything better with it. They've made like 8 versions of Ubongo, and they're like, gotta use the crystals. 4 points for you.
Oh my goodness. But I did like Calico and I did like Cascadia. So I would pick Cascadia just because it's a little bit more open. But I like them both, so.
Calico really gets like
Really tight at
choke
the end.
on a necktie at the
But
end.
I don't mind. I don't mind that. And I think it's really pretty. The chaotic patterns is really pretty to me.
I'm gonna have to call my stepdad and let him know that Cascadia is my pick.
But it's really Ubongo? I'm confused.
No, Cascadia is my pick.
It's
okay.
My favorite on the shelf. But yeah, I have a lot of affinity for the Ubongo ones.
Alrighty, well, there you go. That's the end of our abstract shelves. We'll see you next time on this, whatever.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, we are Ryan and Bethany.
From Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
All right, today we're talking about the Star Wars, the deck building game. All right, so you've got the Empire and you've got the Rebels, which you're basically face off a 2-player game. One of you is going to take on the role as the heroes of the Star Wars world, the Rebel Alliance, and you're going to be drafting things like X-Wings and Y-Wings and Chewbacca into your deck. The Empire, however, they're going to be doing the exact opposite. They're going to be getting Star Destroyers, and they're going to be getting Darth Vader, and all those things Director Krennic on their side, building into their deck. Like most deck builders, you have a small starting hand, but you are going to build it up with the things that you draft from the center row. But only the Rebels can draft the Rebel cards. Only the Empire can draft the Empire cards. But there are also some neutral cards as well that both people have access to. The ultimate end of this game is you're trying to blow up each other's bases. So the Rebels are trying to blow up the Death Star, obviously, and maybe you have the Empire trying to blow up Yavin 4. So you have all those kind of familiar locations from the Star Wars world, and you're trying to knock them out before the other players knock out your bases.
Before we talk about this game, we say the word Star Wars. What song enters your head? The Imperial March has been in my head the entire time. So if you see me bouncing, that's what I was bouncing to. So I'm just curious if there's anything. Yes.
Why were you bouncing to
I
that?
don't know.
Like,
I don't
some
know.
weird hip-hop version? What's wrong with you?
I was like jamming out to it. Anyway, great music. A wonderful score.
John Williams.
Great. One of the things that I thought was really neat about this, you are trying to destroy each other's bases, but when somebody does destroy your base, it's not, you can't set up a new base for them to destroy again that turn. The most you can destroy is one opponent's base per turn. And I really like that because it doesn't, sometimes you just draw into excellent hands and then the game's over and it's not even fun and it's not really fair and you don't even really do anything. It was just luck of the draw. And this really prevents that from happening. You still have to work towards it. You can't just hope to get one good hand and finish the game. You have to have multiple good hands to finish the game.
There's also this force tracker going on. So the force itself is kind of balancing itself, going towards the Rebels, towards the Empire, back and forth throughout the game. And there's going to be cards that say, if the force is with you, meaning if the force is on your half of the tracker, you can do some kind of extra benefit. Maybe you can draw extra cards or do extra damage, things like that. So I love seeing that force tracker show up in a Star Wars themed game.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you want to hear more from Ryan and I, you can find us on YouTube. We are Ryan and Bethany at Board Game Reviews. Everybody, this is Ryan and Bethany, hoping you have a happy, healthy breakfast. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Hey there everyone, it's Jen, the board game librarian, flipping some pages and pushing some cues with my segment from the page to the table where I pair books and board games together that share a common theme. Now we're going to get to the sciencey part of me today, which you would never really ever hear me say. And we're going to talk about Upgrade from Blake Crouch. This is his newest book, and he always has some really approachable science fiction. In this one, he talks about what happens if someone were to tap into the genome and kind of mess around with it and create a bunch of superhumans. In our book here, we have Logan Ramsey, and he is the son of a kind of genius woman who had some really great ideas and then they went kind of bad. And the world is in shambles after that happened. Now again, I mentioned I wasn't super sciencey, but I did love genotype. 1 to 5 players, ages 14 and up, 45 to 75 minutes. So one of my favorite things in school growing up was working on the Mendelian genetics and working on the P's and kind of matching all the uppercase letters and the lowercase letters. And here you can do that in this game. A worker placement game where you are looking to work on research and do a whole bunch of different things. I think this game is really approachable and it has a lot in there even for a super experienced gamer. We liked it we liked it a lot. So that's all for this week, friends. Happy breakfast.
All right, today we're not reviewing Zelda.
I wish we were.
No, we haven't played it enough. You have to play it more.
I know.
All right, today we're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Volume 3, which is, as far as they said, the end of the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. And no joke for me, I said if they never made another Marvel thing, I would be content at this point. But they are going to make more Marvel stuff, so let's watch it. Probably.
It's interesting because I feel like they could still make Guardians of the Galaxy after this.
Yes.
Like they left it very.
This is going to be a little spoilery, folks. We'll try not to be too spoilery, but a little spoilery. Yes, they could still do Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Yeah.
Okay, well, jumping right in, I really like this. I really liked it. Now, I went in this liking the first and the second. I like the first a little bit better than the second, but not much. I think the second has a better emotional moment at the end. I still get a little choked up every time with the fireworks scene.
Oh my gosh.
I love that moment where he yells. I just do.
Yeah.
It's just it's such a great moment. And I like that character. But this third one, it's action-packed, it's funny, it's good. It's, I don't know. What are the negatives?
I think it's a smaller scope. Like for me, the one thing I found odd was this is kind of the storyline that it ended with. Like it went out with a whimper instead of a bang. But in some ways it's nice that it wasn't like, we have to save the galaxy again. It's a little bit more of a personal adventure, right? It's like a smaller scope type of a thing. My only other negative to it is that I think that one of the characters, Golden character, just could have not been in the film.
Well, I saw on that pitch meeting channel, it was really funny. It's like, we said Adam Warlock was in this movie, so he's in the movie, and the guy's like, I already wrote the script. So
that's kind of
stick him in.
They make a joke. This is not a spoiler, right? But they make a joke that like he needed more time to, he needed more time in the cocoon to finish. And like, I don't know if James Gunn is also saying, hey, like this needed more time, but Marvel needs the movie now, or something. You know what I mean? Like it almost felt like a meta commentary of like, I had to do this because Marvel wants Adam Warlock. So he's here, legally represented. Anyway, here's the rest of my actual story.
Is he in future stuff? Is that why?
No, I don't think so.
Did he need an introductory?
No, because like he in the comics is like one of the main things of the Infinity Stone thing, and he's not in that at all. So that's fine. I don't mind that they took him back. Well, yeah, but he was like a Messiah type character in the comics. I always thought he was a weird, dumb character. I never liked Adam Warlock. I laughed a lot, but that's my negative about this is I like James Gunn's humor for the most part, but he tends to like big, dumb characters. I don't think you need like 6 of them. I mean, Drax fits that character nice. But now they had Adam Warlock, who's kind of like the same thing. In fact, to the point where they made a joke about this in the movie.
Sure.
Like every group has a big dumb character.
Oh man.
Which was funny.
That was such a good joke. It was such a good like. Yeah.
So one thing that I like about Guardians is that you've got a bunch of dumb characters, but then you feel for them and they grow. And so I feel like with every single Guardian movie you get that, and I feel like you get that in abundance in this as well.
I know a lot of people complained about it. I see it in the comments. Some people didn't like the animal cruelty. That didn't bother me because they're fake animals. And I've always found it odd that people find that to be horrific. But I mean, also the humans. I mean, a guy got melted in this thing. Doesn't that bother anybody? There's alien cruelty too. Anyway, the bad guy was like one of the worst bad guys you could ever come across in this one.
He was a despicable person. That's what you're saying?
Yes, he was. They weren't like, hey, this guy's nuanced. No, he's just bad.
He just messed up.
I don't think he's one of their best bad guys they've done, but you hate him from the moment you see him to the end.
That's the thing, is they did it well. There's a lot of villains where you're like, oh, he's a big scary bad guy. I feel like Marvel has gotten better with their villains over time.
Yeah, but this guy is not nuanced. He's like, hey,
No.
I'm bad. And you're like, yeah, you are. I hate you. I hope you die. Does he die? You have to watch the movie to find out.
Absolutely. Yes.
And I actually want to talk about that when we're done here, because there's something I thought was amusing
There's
about
so much
that.
I can't say right now.
I will say, Tom, I think the reason why the animal cruelty, the animal abuse is so visceral for people is because it's very visceral in the film. Like, so for example, one thing that always bothers me in films or whatever is when like a baby dies.
I agree. Same for me.
It's too personal for me, but when it kind of when it zooms in on that suffering and dying, it goes from a point of like, I can sympathize with that, I can empathize with that, to, oh man.
You're
like,
feeling it.
Yeah,
like
I'm
you're
feeling
having
it too
a physical
hard.
reaction.
And I know that some people very much feel that way about animals. So I would say you should keep that in mind. I don't feel that way. I'm much with you where like, I can't relate to that, but I would absolutely warn people, like if that bothers you.
This would make you very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
That, I thought it was a good send-off, though. There's a sequence, an action sequence near the end, which I think is one of the best action sequences of any movie.
Gosh, yeah.
It is
Really,
a good
really
one.
good. I laughed out loud a lot.
It's gory though.
Yeah,
It
but
is.
it's okay.
I was surprised
Bad
at how
guys. They're
gory
bad guys.
it was.
I don't care.
But like,
They're bad guys and they're mostly aliens, so
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Marvel always just like, aliens, robots. Kill as many as you want.
yeah.
Right. Man, there's so many good payoffs in this. This film is a little bit more emotional and a little bit less. Guardians Volume 2 was criticized, I think, a decent amount for having a lot of very emotional moments with like a fart joke to kind of break the tension almost. And this one avoided doing that almost entirely. I feel like they kind of let the emotional moments sit longer and sit more without having to have like an abrupt piece of humor. Drax says something dumb to kind of ruin the moment type of a thing. But it still feels like a Guardians movie. What about the music?
I liked it. And I'm not a big fan of modern music.
I'm not, yeah.
But what's the name of that song? The Beastie Boys song? Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
No Sleep Till Brooklyn. Not modern, but
More modern than the last. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
they moved more modern. The
They've
newest song
progressed.
was like 2000, I think, or whatever. I'm saying it was more modern than 70s, 80s. I don't like that song at all. But in the movie, I thought it was hilarious.
Oh my gosh, I enjoy the Beastie Boys. So that was my favorite one because I like that song already.
I hate it.
This is one of the things where this is a personal taste. One of my weaknesses of Guardians 3 is the soundtrack. I don't like it as much. I mean, the movie starts with a sweeping shot of Radiohead's Creep, which I think is a fine song. Radiohead's good, but I don't jive with the way that like Come and Get Your Love in the opening of the first Guardians movie.
But I think they were trying to start with a more down view.
Absolutely, as they should, right? And it fit the movie and everything. Like I said, it's my personal taste in the music that I didn't love as much. I don't know Florence and the Machine, right? I learned who that band was, basically, because I was like, why does everyone like this song that I thought was okay, right? Like, I get it. Everything fit very well. But I think creatively it's probably a good decision to move the music more modern because what's happening in the film is Star-Lord is kind of accepting. He's not stuck in the past. And his character over the trilogy, that's one of my favorite parts, is that he is coming to terms with living and accepting what has happened now instead of being stuck in the past. And I think musically, I think everything about that kind of works with that. So I really appreciate it, even if it's my least favorite of the 3 soundtracks.
It's interesting because there's so many songs, because I just don't know a lot of older music. I just don't know a lot of music in general. So the first couple soundtracks, there's half the songs I don't really know that well. And so I enjoyed them because of the way they used them. And I felt like in here, they did the same thing. Like I enjoyed them because of the way they used them, whether or not I know the piece of music.
All right, you should, if you haven't watched it yet, and if you haven't watched the Christmas special, you should watch the Christmas special. It's not necessary, but it does fill in a few, at least moments that they mentioned in the movie.
Yeah.
I think this is the best Marvel movie since Spider-Man. I would have said since Endgame, but Spider-Man was amazing. But other than Spider-Man, this is my favorite that I've seen. I like it better than anything in Phase 5 or whatever phase they're in now. I like Doctor Strange. I like Shang-Chi. But I like this better than both of them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. This is great. I mean, I sound a little down on like some of the music and all that stuff, but like I love the Guardian. I'm very happy that the Guardians trilogy is fantastic overall.
I very much liked Doctor Strange, so it's like really up there for me. I don't know which one I would pick, but yeah, very good. Very, very good.
Well, there you go. That's Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3.
Hey, I'm Jordan. Let's talk about a game to play on a weeknight. This is Canvas. I may have already talked about Canvas, but I don't know if I have, so I'm going to do it again. Canvas is a sort of a drafting game. You know, you got the line of cards on the table, you're collecting those cards, they're going to have symbols on them, you score points based off of the symbols. You know, on paper, it sounds like a lot of other games. And sure, it plays similarly to other games, but it has some really cool gimmicks that really make this game enticing and inviting to players. So you're, yes, collecting these cards, but the cards are clear plastic cards, similar to like the John D. Clare card crafting system. You got those clear plastic cards, you're gonna put them in clear plastic sleeves, and depending on how the cards overlap in there, that's how the symbols on there that go to the end game scoring. That's whatever is showing at the end of the game, that's going to score for you. So that's important, what's covering each other. But then at the top part of the card, you're creating like a painting with these different images that are overlapping. And it could be like a rain kind of coming down, and then you got like, you know, a bird cage, and then you got some spikes coming up from the bottom, and it has some like really deep and brooding name underneath it. And I think that's really what makes the game sing. If it was really just collects these cards that have different symbols, I don't think this game would really be as cool as it truly is. I think the production really brings this one out, and the way that the theming really comes to life with that, the clear cards in the sleeves with every painting coming together differently. I think that's really what makes this game great, and I think this one just really sings for us. That's Canvas. I'm Jordan. Thanks.
Back to us. And that's it, folks. Thanks so much for watching. In 14 minutes, Z is going to be playing. He told me the name of the game, and I totally forgot what it was. But he's going to play the game on What's Happening. So we'll see you then. Until then.
3 o'clock, you have At the Table as well.
That's true.
And until then, go play on Discord.
I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Wendy Yee.
I'm Chris Yee.
We'll see you next time.